I sit on the board of NASD, my firm's Marina Securities Stockbroking Services, and we are elated. The development of markets is about not just the instruments, but the platforms that you provide. Ultimately, NASD was long coming. If you recall, during the boom of share issuances between 2006 2008, a lot of companies, estimated at about 45, had actually embarked on private placements, which ultimately were to be listed. Now they had options. They had options of listing on the formal exchange, which the NSE provides, or the alternative market, which is what NASD has come today to provide. So we are indeed excited because we recognize that the deepening of any markets, the development of any markets like ours, essentially would need an OTC platform. Historically and contemporarily, OTC platforms are in fact much larger than the formal listed boards. So you have witnessed history today with the launching by Dr. Ndanusa, and I think the 40-odd stockbroking firms who are shareholders and members of NASD are equally elated. For us, it's very, very significant. It means we can start to unlock certain value and bring liquidity to the market for all those private placements that had taken place. And then for the numerous PLCs that are listed in Nigeria seeking alternative markets for capital raising, NASD will provide that platform. Also, in terms of professional development, you will start to see a crop of certified stockbrokers who are going to specialize in companies that are going to be traded on the OTC. For us, it's truly history making.
I see it as a good thing for our market, a good thing for Nigeria. The launch is an epoch-making event for a process that has been on since the early 90s. And to me, capital formation is further enhanced in Nigeria because there is an added platform that will cater to those companies and those securities that right now are not on the main board. And of course, it's an alternative trading system, which is positive. Most countries have it. It deepens and broadens our market, not only in equities or bonds, but even in future in derivatives, because those are instruments that will create more liquidity in the market, will deepen the market and ensure that capital formation is easy. Companies will now have an alternative system to raise cheaper funding in a transparent and way. And investors also will now have platforms that are driven on accountability, fairness, and of course transparency. Entities that are regulated. Therefore, there will be confidence, there will be trust. And essentially, those are the kind of platforms that we are looking for. It has worked and is working in other jurisdictions. So why not Nigeria?
The NASD is history making for this market. As I've said, this is a market that has a lot of potential. We want to be the same size as Brazil, which is over $1 trillion in terms of market capitalization. When you put our bond market, non-sovereign bond market and our equities market together, we're about 100 billion. So what we're aspiring to do is to grow by 10 times. This platform will enable us to do that in many ways. First, it's a platform that brings unlisted securities to a much more formal process for trading. Secondly, the platform is web-based, so you can basically participate from anywhere in the world. So for our financial inclusion strategy, I'm very, very excited. I'm also very excited as a regulator because it brings more transparency to our market. It brings consistency, it brings equity, it brings fairness and efficiency in the trading of unlisted securities. And what I know will ultimately happen is that these companies will then seek to list. So I'm very, very excited. This is history making.
From today onwards, that market will become a market in which everybody can participate in without fear of being cheated. Because the NASD OTC market provides a platform for people to be able to trade in a transparent manner, in a manner in which they will not be defrauded, and using intermediaries that are registered and under disciplinary control of both the NASD and SEC. And therefore, And if you put confidence in the market, more people will participate. If more people participate, that market becomes more efficient. And that means that more and more capital can also be raised through the instrumentality of that market. And that leads to economic growth and development for Nigeria.